Hey everybody, welcome back. Try making this video twice. Let me just say that I've been at guitar class today and my fingers are sore. And so if it doesn't sound perfect, too bad. I'm the beginner. Yeah. Anyway, I guess you're wondering what this video is all about. So I just wanted to tell you that I thought it'd be kind of cool to... I'm starting on let's call it an adventure. And I wanted to document it so that one day I can look back and say, wow, remember when I was like that? So let me just give you a bit of background here. Back when I was a kid, oh, so long ago, I was part of a band. Yeah. Long hair band. Yeah, we didn't have long hair. My parents cut us brush cut, so I don't know. I can't really say that. But anyway, I was part of a band with my brothers. My brother Mike actually is a very talented piano player. So we thought we were really good, quite honest with you. And the first song we learned was Stairway to Heaven. Of course, we played that perfectly. I'm pretty sure that the neighbors would tend to argue about that. So anyway, I gave up guitar for quite a few years. I put it down. I think I used my guitar to El Kabong, my sister, quite honest with you. And those of you that don't know what El Kabong is, that was a cartoon back then where the character took the guitar and whacked the other guy over the head with the guitar. So we call that El Kabong. So my guitar didn't survive. Anyway, let's flash forward a couple of years later, quite a few years later, like about 20 or 30. This is probably about 5 or 6 years ago. I picked up a guitar, which was not a good quality guitar, hard to play. I was kind of trying to work with it, but it was really hard on my hands. And then on top of that, I actually started to pick some stuff up by myself. And then life happened. I had shoulder surgery and a bunch of other stuff. And, I just put the guitar down. Then I moved here to Nova Scotia. And I was invited, when I first got here, I actually had the guitar and I was saying I was going to pick it up, that sort of stuff. And Paul, one of the neighbors here, invited me over to his jam session at his house. And there was Paul, Roby, Joy, Colin, a couple other people that were there. Yeah, by the way, I'm growing a beard. To ask them if they think they're rock stars or anything, they're the first to say that, to be very humble and say that they're just jamming together as friends. But I got to tell you, there's some talent there for sure. I had Joy come over, and actually I bought a new guitar because after I played with her guitar, which had very low action on it, I really liked how it played. So I went out on a hunt to find another guitar. She came over to check it out, and she actually liked it. And then I showed her what I was working on. I was trying to learn Chris Stapleton, Starting Over. Yeah, it's like learning Stairway to Heaven. So anyway, she said, that's way past your wheelhouse. Why don't you learn something like Wagon Wheel? I found that the most boring. So it's 2 chords, C and a D, or C and a G. That's it. But unfortunately, one of the problems you learn when you're trying to learn a guitar is that it's not just about learning the chords. It's trying to learn how to strum it. And, for a lot of us, that's the hardest part about learning guitar, is strumming part of it. So in any case, I set out to find a teacher, and I did. I found a guy named Sam Wenzel from Bridgewater. Sam's a great guy, great teacher. I don't want to boast him too much because I don't want too many people going to him because he'll be too busy and he won't want to teach me because I know I'm probably a pain in the ass to teach. So what do I hope to accomplish? Maybe one day I'll be by the campfire and I can play along with friends. I'm not looking to be a rock star because I don't think I'll ever have that kind of talent. What I have learned is that I can sit beside someone, and I may not know how to strum, but like today when I sat beside Sam, I could pick up his strumming pattern by listening to him. I couldn't play the chords and the strumming pattern at the same time. I'm not that coordinated. So what can I do so far? And that's what this is really about, to document it, right? So number one thing is I got this pick here today, but I have another one that's got a rubber piece on it. And the reason being is I have a problem with my finger. I guess from a car accident from quite a few years ago, I don't have a lot of pressure in this finger. So I'll be strumming away and all of a sudden, pick goes flying. Or what it does is it rotates in my finger and does that. And then you lose your distance on the string and then it sounds terrible, right? So what can I do? All right. So So as far as chords, G, C add 9, the E. So there's, 3, and then the D. So with those 4 chords, you can play almost any country and western song, as long as you know how to get through them. For me, the strumming part of it, I should tell you that this is the song that I've learned how to play, just so you know. Yeah, in case you haven't figured that out, that's a recording. But I just had to do that to you because we were talking about Stairway to Heaven. So anyway, strumming. So this is as far as I can get in strumming so far. I can switch between all the chords, but I decided to show you that I can actually carry one pattern. Now, if I was to put a song on, I can actually kind of keep up with the beat of the pattern. Sam is trying to teach me some blue riffs, which are stuff like this. Oops. Ooh. Picking. Now, Sam's not teaching me how to pick. The picking part I'm kind of picking up by myself kind of thing. So this is what I've learned to pick so far. And then there's a Travis picking pattern that's kind of a neat picking pattern, which is kind of so, I picked up some more stuff and probably am forgetting tons of stuff here that I've kind of picked up. To my son, he would tell you that he can play but he can tune a guitar. We call this, for us old guys, we call this a electric tuner. So, so I don't have to learn how to tune a guitar, basically. Which, by the way, it actually helps me because you can kind of tell when you're using that tuner. When the guitar's out of tune, it teaches you to recognize that. So I'm actually getting better at that. So that's my skill set so far. I figure I'm not doing too bad considering it's only been, I guess I started late August, September last year, starting to play with it. But to be quite honest with you, what I found was I was stuck in the YouTube loop. That is, I could pick up the chords, which it did. It taught me a lot of the chords. I know more than most beginners do. Taught me all of those chords: E, F, G, D, C, C add 9, E major, E minor. All of those chords I actually know, which is pretty good for a guy just starting. But to maneuver through them, I couldn't find anybody to teach me how to do that. And then the strumming, that was the other thing that I was having a real hard time with, and I'm still having a hard time with, and Sam and I are working on now, and I'm actually picking up pretty good. So I'm hoping one day that I will sit by that campfire, or I will sit beside Joy and the rest of them and be able to either keep up with them or play along with them, or who knows, maybe even come up with something that I'm unique for what I'm learning. What are my inspirations as far as trying to learn? I love Brooks and Dunn, Neon Moon. I'm going to learn how to play that song. The other one is Making Memories of Us, Keith Urban. It's another one I want to learn. Both beautiful songs. And I'm not a Stairway to Heaven guy anymore. I don't think so anyway. Actually, I watched a video on how to play Stairway to Heaven, and it is a lot easier than I thought it was. But I just have no inspiration to actually learn that anymore. I just kind of like the stuff that I'm learning now, which is a lot easier and a lot funner to play. Because the reality is, if you're doing this and you're not having fun, then why are you doing it in the first place, right? Anyway, thanks very much for watching my video and perhaps following my journey to see how this ends up. I will tell you, though, that I am doing something else. Along with Sam, I picked up a guitar app called Simply Guitar. I haven't formed an opinion on it yet, whether it's good or not. It is actually teaching me some weird stuff in a way. But I think the biggest problem I'm learning with this is to remember what you learned last week to carry over this week. I truly believe, and I think Sam would probably agree, in fact, we have had a conversation about this, is that I'm not a guitar player that's going to look at a sheet music and be able to play off the sheet. I'm going to be a guy that learns how to play a song, because much like when he was playing it today, he was trying to get me to watch the sheet. Instead, what I did is I just listened to him singing the song, and I changed my chords according to that and managed to get through, I think it was a chord, maybe a chord and a half, something like that. But I managed to get through that chord because I could hear how he was singing, and I could change the chord by listening to his voice, which he said is actually a good talent to learn. He said because you'll learn how to play along with other people the same way. So anyway, I hope that wasn't all confusing for you. Thanks very much for watching. I'm sorry I bored you to death, and it's probably the worst 10 minutes of your life you've ever spent watching a video. Have a great day.